Alright, so we back with another video, and today we got y'all boys with a special video. This is a long time coming, and I'm gonna be honest. The contact dunks this year, they're very simple, but at the same time, it's some things about it that it just takes some getting used to. And we're gonna break everything down from the new dunking and I guess driving mechanics, and we're gonna break down everything you need to know step by step on how to get contact dunks, and we're gonna even give you guys some badges to help you get contact dunks. So yeah, if you guys want me to do the same thing for a dribble tutorial, all y'all gotta do is drop the likes, show the support, subscribe, comment down below to help the album, all that good stuff out the way. But without further ado, let's hop into it.
You my dog at the end, don't care what the bitches say.
Alright, so first things first when it comes to doing said content. So we're gonna go over everything. We're gonna go over everything in this video. If you want to just skip to the part where I'm pretty much just doing the tutorial on the step-by-step process, you can skip to that because you can go to the 2KU just like I can. But this is gonna show you guys a perfect description. Now, some of this stuff actually it shows it a lot slower than you really got to do it, but they've changed a lot on here. Like if you want to do certain things like a euro, hop step, and stuff like that, they've changed a lot. So the new thing that's in this game is the quick scoop layout for the people that want to know about it. Very overpowered. I'm gonna be honest, this is very overpowered. I don't even know why this is like so broken, but the way it really works is you can use it to really much get around your defender. So there's gonna be times you really want to be able to use this instead of doing a contact dunk. Now for other things that's really important, all of this stuff is kind of pretty much the same, but euros, they've changed euros. Now if you use the X button, it's the same thing, but the thing now is they have this thing called double throws. So if you want to do a euro, you want to do a hop step, you want to do a lot of things, even the dunk meter, you got to get used to these double throws. Now what I used to get used to the dunk meter was learning how to do the euros and the hop steps. Now I haven't even mastered how to do the hop steps with the analog. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't even mastered how to get it to work every time with the X button because the limitless takeoff is just so broken. If I have limitless takeoff and I try to do a hop step, the nigga just goes up. I ain't gonna lie, he just goes up. But with that being said, when I try to do euros, the fact that you have to quickly do the double throw with euros now has actually engraved in my mind how fast you have to move that right stick in comparison to pretty much trying to go for the double throws when it comes to contact dunks. So you can try to use this new euro mechanic and practice that to get used to moving the right stick for the contact dunks. Now, for what y'all came for, the dunking. Now, if you want to do two hands, that's pretty much the same. Dominant off hands is pretty much the same. Now, this is why on all my builds, I use the right hand builds, because if you do left hand, instead of it being, if you want to go up with your right and going up with the right hand and flicking the right stick to the right, it's now based off your offhand or dominant hand. So I just want y'all to understand that. So it's gonna be kind of reversed. Now for the normal skill dunk, this is pretty much the dunk meter. If you want to be able to do the dunk meter, you have to hold RT, moving the right stick up, and quickly release and move the right stick down. Now me personally, I don't do none of that. What I do is, when I'm going in, I do it early. If you do it late, for some reason, from my experience, it don't work. It don't work. So what I do is, I move it early and I just hold it. And if you hold it, it'll give you the meter. Now, I'm gonna be honest. Off rip, when I was first practicing it, it would never pop up. It would just give me either a rim hang dunk or a two-hand dunk. It would never give it to me. Now, if you're struggling to get this to pop up for your said contact dunks, there's a lot of new things in the game. Now, what I was using early in the game, when I couldn't really get the double throw stuff down, I was just doing rim hangs. But you also can go up with right hand if you're in a good position to get a right hand contact dunk. You can go with the left hand and get it if you're in a good position for certain things like that. Two hands, like no matter what you're going for, if you go up with rim hangs to get rim hang contact dunks, you're gonna get a rim hang contact dunk. Two hands, you're gonna get a two hand contact dunk. Left hand, right, it's gonna be the same thing. But they also brought back flashy dunks if you don't want to use the meter. So if you don't want to use the meter and you want to go for a contact or like a contact dunk every time and get the flashiest dunk possible with your one hand, you can just go up with a one-hand flashy dunk, which is also a double throw where you pretty much have to hold RT, move the right stick down, and quickly move and hold the right stick up. So it's pretty much the exact opposite of the normal skill dunk meter. But the one thing that's really confusing for me is this one, the two-hand flashy dunk, where you hold the right stick and move the right stick up or hold RT and move the right stick up, then quickly release and move the right stick up again. So I guess, actually, I don't know why that was confusing. Honestly, I thought that was you move the right stick up and then go down, but if you move the right stick up and right stick up again, that makes sense. So I haven't really mastered these two, but I've actually come down to be able to get the normal skill dunk to pretty much activate whenever I want to. Now, there are some instances where it doesn't really give me what I want, but it is what it is, and it just takes practice. And like I said, I use the Euro step layup to get it engraved into my mind to get it as consistent as possible. Alright, so when it comes to getting content on, let's go over the step-by-step stuff that you really need to know. Now, when it comes to some of this stuff, a lot of this stuff is a lot more simplified now that you have a meter that pretty much will pop up to get you a dunk pretty much every single time. Now, you can take off shot meter. I know a lot of people may not know this, but you can take off the shot meter and be able to get the dunk or aggressive dunk meter, whatever you want to call it, to pop up, and it's going to give you a dunk pretty much every time. Now, first things first, when it comes to going for content, you need to find you a go-to move to get you the fastest speed boost possible to get around your defender and get to the rim with as much momentum going towards the goal as possible. Now, depending on how you made your build, you're going to be a lot slower. But what I like to do is I like going between the legs on this game. Between the legs seems very comfortable for me. Now, I'm going to be honest. Another thing that goes in play with this game, if you haven't played it, a lot of lockdowns are on this game. And they love to spam X because stealing is very easy in this game. So you need a go-to move where you can also counteract lockdowns if they play for that. So you gotta also have a backup plan. You can't just always do the same thing every single time. You gotta be able to have IQ and go on the run. But right now, we gonna focus on having a go-to move. Now, when you get to going for the content dunk, you gotta know what is the perfect launching point. Now, for the perfect launching point, in my opinion, now, some of these game modes, they're not going to be two circles, but there's always going to be a circle under the rim, and there's always like a circle around the free throw line. Now, if you go for a content dunk in between both of those circles, you're going to be able to get a dunk pretty much at a really high percentage time. And if you go for the dunk skill meter or a flashy dunk, and you have somebody in a good position to get content dunks, because if you don't know how this stuff works, which we're going to go over, you got to have the content dunk packages, and the content dunk packages have animations for a situation depending on where you are and where the defender is. So in my opinion, the best launching point is like in between those circles. If you aim for in between those two circles, you will get a content dunk a large percentage of the time. Now, with that being said, yes, we have those two circles that we have to aim for, but you have other things that goes into play like limitless takeoff, obviously, where you can take off from even further, but I still have that engraved to my mind. But with that being said, now when it comes to going for content dunks, what's the best thing to do when it comes to practice timing? Now, I'll be honest, if you're using the skill dunk meter, you gotta understand you're gonna get a different timing every single time. So you're going to really get used to having, it's not like jump shots where, like, I guess jump shots this year, they kind of are wild with how many different times you're going to have. But if you're wide open, a majority of the time you're going to get the same timing. If you're going for a content dunk, depending on the animation, you're going to get a completely different timing on that said dunk. So in my opinion, you want to make sure you have the best meter possible. Now, when it comes to these meters, I'm going to be honest with you. The meters that I like, I at one point I was using the curved side, but I don't know, man. It was too long. Pause. I don't know how to say that without it being a pause, but you know what I mean. It's like, I don't know what it is, but it feels like I get more bounce backs than any of the other meters. Now, none of these meters are perfect to me because I know the popular one is the Comet. Me personally, I don't know what it is. It's just too small. I can't really get with it, and it's not for me. But honestly, what may be for me may not be for you. So honestly, you probably need to find what's perfect for you. Now, the tusk under is kind of underrated, and the funnel over is kind of underrated as well. Now, the straight bar, this probably is the worst one. This probably is literally the worst one because not only is it too skinny, but like, I don't know. It's just the worst one by far to me. Now, the one I've been using lately that's been working really well for me is the Curve Bar Mini. It's like a mixture of the Comet and the Curve Bar where it doesn't get nearly as many bounce backs as the Curve Bar one, but it also isn't as small as the Comet one for me. So I really like the Curve Bar one, but if you also want some underrated ones, go with Funnel or Tusk one. Now, why is this important? Because when it comes to these animations, the bar is going to pop up every single time. And if you get used to timing that bar, depending on the different content dunk animations, like I said, every single different dunk is going to have a completely different timing. It's not like jump shots where they're pretty much going to majority of the time be around the same. You can be extremely slow dunk or an extremely fast, and it doesn't have like a thing that's based off like contest. It doesn't have a thing that's based off of like, you know what I'm saying, stamina and stuff like that. It's just based off you getting a completely different dunk. So you can't even anticipate it. You just got to pretty much just play based off your meter. It's not really going to be muscle memory. I've tried to use it based off muscle memory. It does not work. It just doesn't. Now, I almost forgot. Now, I'm going to be honest. Now, this is kind of a risk. This one is kind of a risk, but I'm going to take you to it real quick. As I said, if you guys want to be able to practice going for content dunks with the dunk meter, in my opinion, the best place is going to be the Gatorade facility. Now, why the Gatorade facility so good? Because you don't even have to start up a game. You just got to have a friend. If you don't got friends, then I ain't going to lie. That's tough. But if you do have a friend, just go into the Gatorade facility, ask them to come to your mic court, tell them you don't even got a 1v1, you just want some help when it comes to doing. Bro, what am I looking at, 2K? Why is this nigga on this floor? Okay, but yeah, just go to the Gatorade courts, and you can either just go in there, practice the dunk meter doing regular dunks. You can go in here with a friend and practice doing the dunks. And yeah, man, you can literally just be in here all day if you want to, just like dribblers. Dribblers go to the micro all the time and just practice dribble moves. If you feel like you gotta master the dunk meter, getting it down by going in the Gatorade facility by yourself or going in here with a friend, do that, bro. I'm telling you, just do it, and you'll be able to master it for sure. It's really just honestly that simple. Now here, we're on my slasher build. Now, when it comes to going for content dunks on this game, there's 2 different badges this year that actually help you get content dunks on this game. Now, when it comes to getting content dunks in this game, I'm very close to getting this badge core, but this is not my only build, so that's the only reason. But I'm gonna be honest, these core badges are way more of a grind than getting Hall of Fame, because as you can see, I have all these badges max, but I only have 1 category core, and it's not like a tier 3 badge. It's really tough getting these badges core. Now, with that being said, Posterizer is very important for getting content dunks. If you don't have Posterizer, you're trolling. Now, again, Posterizer is important, but Rise Up, for the people that's doing standing dunks, Rise Up is the badge that you want. So they actually have split these 2 up. Instead of having Posterizer for everything, Rise Up is now the badge for you big men. Now, that's not really of importance for this video, but yeah. Now, Limitless Takeoff is another great badge, because this will actually make, like where I was talking about, you want to launch from pretty much in between the circles, because it's a lot of people that have an issue with pretty much getting layups at a really crazy rate. Now, if you feel like you're getting layups a lot, that may be because you're driving and you're out of stamina by the time you're driving. So you may want to make sure to pay more attention to your stamina and stuff like that, which is why I said when it comes to your go-to move, you want to make sure that you have a real good move that you can just get it and go. You don't want to do too much. You don't want to do too much, especially in this game where you got to think about the adrenaline boost and stuff like that. You don't want to do too much. Whether you want to do the little hop back, you want to do the tween, just find you a go-to move that's going to be perfectly fine for you. But Limitless Takeoff is going to allow you to pretty much be able to take off from even further out. Now, what I do usually run Slithery, but like, I'm going to be honest, it doesn't really affect content dunks of the craziest rate. I put Aerial Fearless Finisher because just in case it does maybe do a layup, I'm going to have a higher chance of making it. But I'm going to be honest, the only badge you really need finishing wise is Limitless Takeoff and Posterizer. Now, when it comes to the playmaking, an obvious badge is Quick First Step. Let's go. Like I said, when it comes to your go-to move, that's like the point A, because you got to be able to get to point A to point B as fast as possible. Now, Quick First Step is the best badge to get you to point A to point B as fast as possible. Now, there are badges that you really do have to have when it comes to not getting ripped, but that's not what this video is about. Now, another great badge is Hyperdrive, but you see, I'm not running Hyperdrive. I'm just not having to run it because I need Bailout, I need Needle Threader. I don't really need Ankle Breaker. I just run that because it's fun. But you see, I got Unpluggable, Vice Grip. But once I get the other badges like Core, like Unpluggable, I'm gonna be able to throw on other badges like Clamp Breaker. Now, I'm gonna be honest. Clamp Breaker kind of negates you having to have a go-to move, because if you don't know how Clamp Breaker works, it's pretty much gonna help you get more blow by. So whenever I can actually get this badge that I have to run Cord, we're gonna be able to run that Clamp Breaker. And you see, I even been running Clamp Breaker because sometimes I want to run it, but like, I ain't gonna lie, it's too stressful running that badge and you gonna cap. Now, Vice Grip is another badge, but we're not going over that today. Now, a really important badge for some people is going to be Handles for Days. But honestly, I have not found myself actually needing to run Handles Days on any of my builds. Whether I'm a guard, whether I'm a 6'9", I just haven't found the need to actually run it. Now, if I went to the stage or something like that, I probably would. But on this build, I don't think I would, because I'm going to be honest, I can get a 2 every single time if I really wanted to. But if I'm really 300 like crazy, and I probably would at the States. I don't know if I would need it anywhere else though. But yeah, I don't know if you really necessarily need it for this. But if you feel like you having a stamina issue, go with hands for days. Go with hands for days. And last but not least is the dunk animation. Now, the best dunk packages in the game, we've went over this time and time again. This is not like last year where you need certain dunk packages to get more dunks on current gen, because current gen, you guys have pretty much the dunk meter just like next gen. But one thing I want to say, like I kind of talked about a little bit when I was talking in the video, when it comes to these contact dunk packages, you got to understand, the more contact dunk packages you have, the more animations you have for certain situations. Because the way these contact dunks work, look where he's launching from. That's why I told y'all you want to be going from the in between those circles, because 9 times out of 10 he's going from in between those circles. He's not going from the free throw line. He's not going from inside the circle. He's going from in between those circles on pretty much majority of these animations, especially on Elite. Now when it comes to the small, the pro, they might start going from a little closer, but 9 times out of 10 it's always going to be in between those circles. But when it comes to these, you want to be able to have all these on as much as possible. Now, same thing with these alley-oops, you want to be able to have these on, because that's kind of a little bit more random. It just really depends on that. But yeah, depending on the situation of where you are, where the defender is, you're going to get a different animation. So having more packages with more animations is going to allow you to get more content dunks. It's going to really have you with a better frequency. Now, if you do want to just have fun and have the freakiest content dunks on possible, you can just go with the Elites. The Elites are really crazy this year, I'm going to be honest. But yeah, as you can see, I don't really have small, and I still get a lot of content dunks, and that's really because of the dunk meter. The dunk meter kind of emphasizes the fact that you don't really have to force yourself to have all that stuff. When you get good with the dunk meter, you're going to really be able to do whatever you really want on this game, dunking wise, I'm going to be honest. And that's even when they probably going to inevitably buff blocking. Oh my god. But yeah, that's gonna be pretty much the video. Like I said, man, if you guys do want me to do a tutorial going over the dribble tutorial, give you guys tips and stuff like that for dribbling, all y'all boys gotta do is like the video, subscribe if you're new, turn on notifications, share this video to anybody that would help. I really enjoy making these videos for y'all boys. Y'all really been going crazy with a lot of support, but I'm gonna try to keep going crazier and crazier as the year goes on. And I really like 2K23. If you like it just like me, go ahead, drop a like. Without further ado, man, it's your boy Fitz, and I have to be, man.
Tell them to bring me my money. Yeah!